Let's go over to Emerson, who went and saw a classic movie with a live score.
What's up? I'm Emerson, and I'm here to tell you about how I saw Nosferatu last week. You may be thinking this is a music show. Why is she talking about a movie? Well, it was not just Nosferatu, but Nosferatu with a live score performed by the Invincible Czars. Who are the Invincible Czars? Well, they're a local Austin band who released a couple of albums, such as Gods of Convenience and Fortissimo. And they're mainly experimental and instrumental, big band sounds, but very distinct. They've done renditions of the 1812 Overture and the Nutcracker Suite, something like you've never heard before, rock, folk, jazz elements, perfect to spice up the festive playlist for the upcoming holiday season. And their main claim to fame, though, is their writing and live performances of film scores, mainly German expressionist horror films like The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and Nosferatu. So when I went to the theater, I expected to see a drum set, a keyboard, a bass, and a guitar, and they had all of these instruments, but they also had a pianist, or not a pianist, a violinist, a saxophone player, a flute player, and a glockenspiel, a large percussive section with what I think were castanets, according to the ear, but the ear may be wrong, and my favorite, the star of the show, a gong, right in the middle of the room. And as a former band kid, I reiterate, former, it was very cool that they could play for an hour and a half in the dark and not make any mistakes. They did fantastic. And so the original sound of the film was lost, and it makes me wonder if there's something the Invincible Czars aren't telling us. Like, it was almost too good. Like, did they find the score and keep it for themselves and not tell anyone? And act like they maybe rewrote it? But the score itself adds comedy and self-awareness of, like, the modernity of watching it a century later. And yeah, it's a century old, 1922, so you should go watch it this year. It makes it even more special. It replicates ye olde soundscape in a very playful way. It makes the film 100 times creepier, a million times creepier. Count Orlok, who's based off Dracula from Bram Stoker's 1800s novel, enters the room and they smack the gong and have this like sharp, piercing bass sound. And now every time I go to sleep, I picture that sound with Count Orlok looming over me. It's something that will never leave my mind. But there's a synth that's almost like an electronic church organ. It perfectly adds to this gothic, creepy, eerie feel of the film. And the Spotify album is up from 2015, but in their words, they have spruced it up a bit and added an entire drum part to the score, which I think is really great. And you can spruce up your walk to class by skipping Carly Rae Jepsen and listening to Romanian Dance 3. So overall, if you're a lover of Bauhaus, The Cure, or Sushi and the Banshees, this is nothing like them, but it's a gothic feel maybe right up your alley. So I think that anyone should walk down this alley, as it's a unique experience that combines film and music like you may not have ever seen before. So be on the lookout for their next live performances with a variety of other films, and check out their rendition before 2022 ends, because it makes it even more special to watch it on the 100th anniversary.
That's so cool. Hopefully there will be more things like that in Austin that I can go to. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
We have to go to commercial, but we'll be back to discuss the latest concert at UT and try to decode some album covers.